This is the latest edition of the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, his former aide Dominic Hampshire, and the alleged Chinese spy Chris Yang, otherwise known as Yang Tengbo or H6. Let's start with a reminder that the alleged Chinese spy was banned from the UK on national security grounds because the Home Secretary concluded he may have been trying to exert influence on Prince Andrew. In these documents, you get a sense of what was happening behind the scenes. In Dominic Hampshire's statement, he makes clear that he trusts Chris Yang. He goes on to say, "There has never been one single red flag in my head," and that Prince Andrew is of the same opinion. Just on that point, this is someone that the Home Secretary concluded may be exerting influence on Prince Andrew, but the closest aide said in this statement he genuinely trusts him.
What more do we learn about the fallout from the Newsnight interview?
Well, this is mentioned several times in Dominic Hampshire's statement, saying it was clear the Duke's reputation would not recover. And even after there'd been contact from the intelligence service through the Queen's private secretary, Mr Hampshire said Chris is pretty much our only avenue for the Duke moving forward and arguably the only light at the end of the tunnel for him.
And there's a discrepancy between Chris Yang and Dominic Hampshire's statement.
Yes, it's to do with the Duke's 60th birthday. Dominic Hampshire said, "I do not remember being involved with the invitations," but in Chris Yang's statement, it says, "I was invited by the Duke through Dominic Hampshire as someone who had stood by him through hard times." Well, why does this matter? Well, the 60th birthday party could be an example of a more personal connection and may support the Home Secretary's concerns about the relationship. We also learnt the former close aide had 2 meetings with Prince Andrew and the King in 2024 about what the Prince could do moving forwards. And one more thing we found out is Prince Andrew sent yearly birthday cards to the Chinese president. Now, all this new information brings the Duke of York back in the spotlight and raises the question of how vulnerable he is to external influence. Chris Yang and Dominic Hampshire have denied any wrongdoing. We asked Buckingham Palace for a statement and they told us while His Majesty met with the Duke and his advisor to hear outline proposals for independent funding over the past year, the individual known as H6 was not mentioned at any time or in any way as part of these discussions.